Good afternoon. We'll begin tonight with public comment. Apostolate.
Good evening, everyone, and I want to thank you, Council President Dickinson and the council for hearing my concerns on the last time I was here, and I just want to thank you for your prayers because the storm is over. I still have some remnant of the storm that I have shared with the clerk of council, and he will share the concerns with you. I'm going to take the resolutions out of order because the one that caught my attention the most was the United States Department of Justice Hope Court. I have been in the political arena myself seeking the presidential seat for our country because I would like to make America hopeful, like heaven right here on earth. Not so necessarily great because we're not better than anybody else, but we want people in this place to be hopeful. And I do pray that the United States Department of Justice can make decisions that will make the court hopeful for people's lives, that we can end the violence, not just here in the United States, but elsewhere, and we have reasonable negotiations. I want to thank you for Resolution 2026-062, honoring women for Women's History Month. I want to congratulate for the promotion of Resolution 2026-021. And I want to thank you for Resolution 2026-077. The most difficult thing for being a victim of sexual abuse is being believed. And victims go through persecution and prosecution in terms of being believed. And I want to thank you for bringing this awareness and this awareness month. And I pray that it continues until we can end this streak and this abuse of people, not just women and children, but people through religion and politics. I pray that it's successful, and if I can be of any assistance in that area, I can tell you how I have overcome and made it through those processes. For Resolution 054, 2026-054, I would like for you to communicate with the people in the weatherization office because it's a very convoluted and very complex situation, and it presents a serious component of defeat for people who are seeking the weatherization assistance because it's not understood. And it's very difficult. And I would like if you would have a conversation with them so people won't be angry with one another on either side of the counter to help, because we don't need any more homelessness as a result of people not having what they need. And I want to thank you for Resolution 060, still promoting youth and adult employment. I don't know what you need to do, but I can tell you the challenges I have run into, if that will help you to make things better. And I encourage you, if a person does not work, a person will not eat. That's in the Bible, but it's also in the world because we pay for everything. Money is given for fair exchange. I want to thank you for the hard work that you do in this council. I want to thank you for the kindness you have displayed towards me. My storm is over. I can't emphasize that enough. And if you ever need me to have a conversation with you to tell you how to help your citizens get through their storms, I'm more than willing and able to. And you can reach me at 234-442-2860. Thank you, Council President, again for allowing my voice to be heard so that it's not just about me, it's about others that are impacted by violence. And I thank you very much.
Thank you. We have a commendation. Councilman Jeff Wilhite. Yeah, I saw him coming. For Mark Greer for his work as Executive Director with Akron 200. I can give you a minute to breathe if you need to catch your breath.
Come on up, Mark.
Sorry.
Face everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Madam President, members of council. It's a real pleasure to be able to present this commendation to Mark Greer this evening. As many of you know, 2025 was the 200th anniversary of the city of Akron, and Mark was the selected director of that program beginning in 24 and planning through part of 24 and all of the things that happened in 2025. And it's exciting because he shared the first 200 years of our history. And as we all know, you don't know where you're going to go if you don't know where you've been. And it was great to know all the great things and learn all the great things that Mark did. My wife Cindy and I participated in a lot of the events. They were outstanding. We learned a lot. What's exciting, Mark, for you is you're now a part of the story that'll be told going forward. You are a big part of our 200th anniversary. I'm not going to read the whole proclamation because you can see he did a lot in 2025, but I do want to highlight a couple, the one paragraph that really highlights what Mark was able to accomplish. And it says, whereas under Mr. Greer's leadership, Akron 200 hosted 253 events on the main bicentennial calendar, including 196 neighborhood events and 52 events on the bicentennial concert series, attracting more than 35,000 attendees. And I'm going to stop right there on the concert part, because one of the other things that Mark is, among all his other talents, is he is a concert pianist, and he played Carnegie Hall. So the closest I've ever gotten to Carnegie Hall was driving past it. So that is quite an accomplishment in and of itself. Akron 200 partnered and collaborated with the Akron Marathon on the Bicentennial Wellness Challenge, Keep Akron Beautiful. And a side note on that, one of the projects that the Bicentennial Committee did is they asked folks to do community activities, community cleanups and things like that. So if you've been out by Akron Municipal Airport and you look at the letters in the ground that spell out Akron, you probably see that the A is much brighter. That's because a group of us went out under a challenge to see if we could do it, and we did it. Coming in April, we're going to finish the KRON. So we've got the whole thing done, and it was just a way to fix up that iconic marker here in our community as part of the celebration of the bicentennial. He also worked with Progress Through Preservation, Habitat for Humanity, North Hill CDC, Better Kenmore CDC, and EANDC on the Bicentennial Beautification Initiative, Bridgestone Americas, Greater Akron Chamber, Summit Metro Parks, Akron Children's Hospital, Summa Health, and the Akron Beacon Journal on the feature, the Future Exhibition, PBS Western Reserve, and First Energy Foundation on the Forgotten History Forum Series, Summit County Historical Society, and Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad on Akron History Hikes, Tuesday Musical Association on Bicentennial Fanfare, and Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company on the 100th anniversary of the Goodyear blimp, and so much more. And I am one of those people that's dyed in the wool that believes the two most important words in the English language are thank you. And when you can pull a community together and do all of those things and celebrate the history of the community, that's a big accomplishment. So Mark, on behalf of the citizens of Akron, certainly of Summit County, we want to present you with this commendation for your great work. Yes, sir. So thank you. Congratulations. You're welcome to say something if you like.
Well, thank you to Councilman Wilhite. I am extremely honored, extremely humbled. Usually I have to pay someone to speak that well of me in public, but thank you so much. The Bicentennial was such a huge event for all of us here in Akron and Summit County, and I want to thank the entire Bicentennial Commission that was chaired by Dave Lieberth, and I also want to do a special thank you to my staff, Jacina Chapman and Rose Vance Grom, and the many volunteers who helped us throughout all of those 253 events. It certainly could not have been done alone. So again, thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mark. Come over here.
Is it on? Is it on?
Thanks again, Mark. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Madam President.
There's one motion today. Damon Mullen will be present to speak on NEFO General Policy Board appointment. You can just introduce yourself.
What's that? Oh, sorry. My name's Damon Mullen. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Mullen? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
There are 17 first readings. There are 3 first reading passage requests. Mike Vinay will address council on 2026-064.
Thank you, President. I mentioned this piece last week during the Public Works Committee about this piece of equipment. We had to get some final pricing. We were originally going to do an external lease on this piece of equipment. However, working with Phil in the Department of Finance and Budget, we are now doing an internal lease using the internal lease fund. That's saving us nearly $40,000. This piece of equipment is necessary. We use it to maintain flow during emergencies and obviously to perform bypass functions during routine maintenance on our sanitary sewer system. It's currently on the lot, which is another reason for the first reading passage request. So there won't be a delay in having it built. We'll be able to get the equipment much more expediently. Happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Vinay? Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
2026-065, David Magura will address council.
Hello. My name is David Magora, and I'm the Assistant Court Executive Officer for the Summit County Court of Common Pleas General Division. I want to thank you for taking the time to consider our request today. What we're seeking is authorization to submit an application for the Bureau of Justice Assistance Fiscal Year 2025 Public Safety and Mental Health Initiative grant in support of Hope Court. So Judge Allison Breaux currently presides over Hope Court, which is a certified specialized docket designed to address the intersection of mental health in the criminal justice system by connecting participants with treatment, supervision, and recovery support services. The proposed grant would provide approximately $1,062,326 in federal funding over a 3-year period, with a required county match to support personnel, contracted recovery services, training, and other program resources. The grant would support the operation of the docket for a grant that is currently ending later this year, roughly September of 2026. Authorization today would allow the court to move forward with the grant application process and pursue these resources to continue supporting the important work in Summit County. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Thank you, David.
Thank you.
2026-066, Phil Montgomery will address council.
Thank you, Madam President. Phil Montgomery from the Executive's Department of Finance and Budget. We have this cycle's legislation before council for appropriation requests. The first 2 items are small dollar amounts to appropriate the apiary inspector as well as some funds for the Office 365 contract at the DR Court. The last one on that page, $1.92 million, is moving funds. We originally took a few funds for the fiscal office that were in multiple funds in Banner. When we moved to Munis, we combined them and started using project codes. That wasn't working for the fiscal office, so we've had to separate those back out. So this is just reappropriating the funds out of that single fund into the multi-funds that we created for that. The next page, we have a grant for the CDBG, or a transfer, sorry. We do 1 fund per year for these funds, and we need to close out the prior year fund. So we've got to transfer funds from the current year to the prior year to reconcile that. The next one is a transfer in and out from the Employee Benefit Fund to the Stop Loss Fund. We reconciled the two funds with our vendor, our consultant that works with us, and this is the final piece to true up where we ended 2025 with the Stop Loss Fund. The last one on this page is for the engineer, and this is for a traffic and engineering study for the Snyder Avenue Bridge replacement, previously approved by council. And then the last two on the last page, so we have the Q183 Pump Station 6 replacement for the Department of Sanitary Sewer Services, and the last one is a car purchase for the Sheriff's Office to facilitate the outfitting of some vehicles for the CSEA deputies. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Montgomery?
Thank you.
Jeff, are you okay with this? And 64, since I forgot to ask you that one? Yeah. And David, are you okay with public safety piece? Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Phil. There are no late filings. Routine legislation can be found on pages 6 through 10. There's one second reading on 2026-055. Planning Committee recommended passage, and Councilman Lacotte will introduce the speaker on this piece.
Thank you, Chair Walters. Appreciate that. Introduce tonight Dr. Noah Fritz. Dr. Fritz is a professor of practice at the University of Akron. He is an internationally recognized expert in the field of crime analysis and indeed a founding pioneer in the field. Dr. Fritz has professionally run crime centers as the manager, and he's just here today to talk a little bit about the utility of crime analysis centers and answer any questions that you might have about the proposed build-out for this second reading. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity. Good to be everybody. I've been about just 2 years here in the county and in the city of Akron. As David said, I'm a professor at University of Akron's Criminal Justice Department and an international leader in the area of crime and intelligence analysis. And I just wanted to lend my support to this initiative. I think it provides both the resources and the technology capability to create a regional capacity for sharing data, particularly crime data, and a possible real-time crime center capability where the agencies can come together rather than work separately or individually. So I'm happy to answer questions about that. I've been involved in initiatives like this for San Diego County Sheriff's Department, Tempe, Arizona, where I worked as a commander, and also at Fairfax, Virginia, where I served on the command staff there in creating this kind of program. So,
I might add that Dr. Fritz was also twice president of the International Association of Crime Analysts, which is the leading professional association in the field. Does anyone have any questions about crime analysis units or things of that nature?
So have you had an opportunity to kind of review the work that's being done, I guess, just as for my background?
Yes. Actually, initially about a year ago, I started to collaborate with Lori about what that space might look like. I've been into that space. I've also hosted a couple of meetings with the Regional Chiefs of Police Association and Chief Harding, and got overwhelming support for the concept of bringing all those law enforcement agencies together in the same space, and the same technology for again, looking at preventing crime and really keeping to improve the public safety for the citizens of Summit County. So, yeah, I have had the opportunity to go over there to answer your question and see that space.
So when you look at spaces like the one that we're envisioning, what do you, like maybe the top 3 things that you're kind of thinking about as this will be successful versus this is going to have
That's
a hard
a really
time?
good question, an interesting question, because I have traveled across the country looking at these real-time crime centers particularly, and I'm not a big fan historically. A lot of them you walk into and there are police officers or civilian employees or professional staff who are watching a lot of TV and not doing anything. And I really think this is an opportunity to keep it smaller and operational, where if they're not working on the big event that's happening at the time in terms of real time, those analysts and those officers ought to be working on other proactive crime prevention initiatives, and there's no reason they can't do that in that space. I got an opportunity to visit Toledo Police Department, and they do a hybrid solution where there are 4 officers and 4 civilian crime analysts that work side by side in a space similar to that space, and they watch monitors, they look at cameras when things go down. It's not somebody watching Big Brother looking into your house, nor would I support that. But when something happens, it also adds capability eventually for things like drone as first responders. I don't think that's part of the program, but the ability to get your eyes on a location quickly and feed that information back to a real-time crime center is critical to stopping it in action, and then also for follow-up investigation. And in that regards, a model like that I would firmly support.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Thank you. Chair Walters, President Dickinson, thank you. Thanks, Dr. Fritz.
Madam President.
Thank you, Professor.
Madam President. Over here. I want to acknowledge Brian and Lori and Tommy Smoot and Dave O'Neill. They took several of us on a tour of the facility today. You know, spending $1.5 million, we need to kind of know a little more detail than we had last week. So there's nothing wrong in a situation like that with asking questions and getting more information. That's exactly what we did this afternoon by touring that facility, and I would urge the rest of council to tour it as well, and I'm sure Brian would be, and Lori and Tommy would be more than happy to take you on a tour out there. It looks like it's a good project, and you know, Brian, he likes to answer tough questions because he's so knowledgeable about it. I think he kind of likes to show it off a little bit, but he doesn't mind, folks, that we ask questions and take deeper dives into things. Don't feel like...
You know, all your colleagues are going, John, don't, please. Don't.
He doesn't need 11 people calling him every day, okay? But I think he wishes sometimes that council would take deeper dives into things because it's a lot more, sometimes it's a lot more complicated than it seems on the surface. So thanks again for the tour this afternoon. Very much appreciated. Thanks, Lori. Thanks, Tommy. Yeah, it's a neat place. Go check it out.
Thank you, Councilman Schmidt.
Thank you, Madam President.
All right, there are no third readings today. We'll now rise for the pledge led by Councilman John Schmidt, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now approve the minutes from March 2nd. I have a motion to adopt the minutes from the March 2nd council meeting. All in favor?
Oh, my gosh.
We'll have the roll call now.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Ms. Hyam.
Here.
Mr. Donofrio. Mr. Cajun. Ms. Dickinson.
Here.
Mr. Ford. Mr. Wilhite. Ms. Darrow.
Here.
Mr. Lacotte.
Here.
Ms. McKinney.
Here.
Ms. Walters.
Now we'll take up Councilwoman Walters' motion to adopt the minutes from the March 2nd council meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And my apologies, I misspoke. That was my fault. Motions for council, M21, 2026. A motion of council confirming the appointment of Damon Mullen, replacing Caitlin Elrad Smith to the Northeast Ohio for County Regional Planning and Development Organization, NEFCO, General Policy Board.
I have a motion to adopt M21, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Who did that?
Liz.
Okay. First readings, 2026-64, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase agreement with Brown Equipment Company under TIPS Cooperative Purchasing Association pricing for a 2026 Peterbilt vacuum tank truck for an amount not to exceed $273,965 for the Executive's Department of Sanitary Sewer Services emergency.
Madam President, I'd like to move to suspend the rules and adopt 2026-064.
Councilman Wilhite has moved to suspend and adopt 2026-064. On the suspension, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2026-65, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute any documents necessary to apply for a public safety grant from the United States Department of Justice Bureau of Justice Assistance for Hope Court for the period of October 1, 2026 through September 30, 2027 for an estimated amount of $674,575.52 with an estimated local cash match requirement of $387,750.49 for an estimated total amount of $1,062,326.01 for the Court of Common Pleas General Division emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2026-065.
I have a motion from Councilman Lacotte to suspend and adopt 2026-065. On the suspension, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
2026-66, a resolution appropriating funds in order to meet projected expenditures for the balance of 2026 as set forth in Exhibit A for the Executive's Department of Finance and Budget emergency.
Madam Chair, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2026-066.
I have a motion from Councilman Wilhite to suspend and adopt 2026-066. On the suspension, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
2026-67, a resolution to extend the final design report due date to December 31, 2026 for Northfield Center Township's Dorwick Ditch petition pursuant to Section 6131.12 of the Ohio Revised Code Emergency. 2026-68, a resolution to extend the final design report due date to November 30, 2026 for Coventry Township's Hinman Penguin Area Ditch petition pursuant to Section 6131.12 of the Ohio Revised Code Emergency. 2026-69, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a construction contract with J.D. Williamson Construction Company Incorporated for the Snyder Avenue Bridge Design Build project located in the City of Barberton in Council District 7 for a total amount not to exceed $1,690,386.70 for the engineer emergency. 2026-70, a resolution approving the time, place, and expense of the engineer's annual meeting of county and township authorities on May 5, 2026 at Lala's in the Lakes, located in the City of New Franklin in Council District 7 and in an amount not to exceed $6,000 for the engineer emergency. 2026-71, a resolution pursuant to Sections 709.14 to 709.16 of the Ohio Revised Code and Section 125.01 of the codified ordinances of the County of Summit granting the annexation of 11.47 acres of land in Springfield Township to the Village of Mogador in Council District 8 emergency. 2026-72, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a lease agreement amendment and renewal with Project Learn of Summit County for a portion of the first floor at 175 South Main Street located in the City of Akron in Council Council District 4 for educational and/or charitable use for the executive emergency. 2026-73, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a lease amendment and renewal with Service Corps of Retired Executives Association, Chapter 81, also known as Akron SCORE, for a portion of the second floor at 175 South Main Street, located in the city of Akron in Council District 4 for educational and/or charitable use for the executive emergency. 2026-74, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with the Great Life Spay Neuter Wellness Limited Liability Company for veterinarian services at the Animal Control Facility for a one-year term for the period April 1, 26 to March 31, 27, in a total amount not to exceed $114,400 for the Executive's Department of Public Safety, Division of Animal Control, Emergency. 2026-75, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Pay It Forward for Pets Incorporated as a best practical source to provide volunteer coordinator services at the Animal Control Facility for a one-year term for the period of April 1, 26 through March 31, 27, and in an amount not to exceed $95,000 for the Executive's Department of Public Safety, Division of Animal Control, Emergency. 2026-76, a resolution declaring the month of April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the County of Summit and encouraging residents to join in this acknowledgement and wear Blue Day on April 8, 2026 for the executive emergency. 2026-77, a resolution declaring April 1, 2026 as Start by Believing Day throughout the County of Summit, supporting the Start by Believing campaign, which raises awareness of survivors of sexual violence and encouraging all businesses and residents alike to show their support by wearing teal on April 1, 2026 for the executive emergency. 2026-78, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Ohio Auditor of State for the 2025 financial audit for the County of Summit in an amount not to exceed $146,981 for the Internal Audit Department emergency. 2026-79, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a marketing agreement with Alliance Media for the Veteran Service Commission 2026 advertising campaign for a one-year term from February 15, 26 through February 14, 27, with 3 options to renew for an additional one-year term and in an amount not to exceed $250,000 for the Veteran Service Commission emergency. 2026-80, a resolution confirming the award of the Board of Control of the contract identified in Exhibit A as a best practical source in an amount not to exceed $200,000 and confirming the applicability of confidentiality provisions under Ohio Revised Code 9.64 and 149.433 for the Office of Information Technology emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt the routine agenda found on pages 6 through 10.
A motion to suspend and adopt the routine legislation found on pages 6 through 10. On the suspension, all in favor? Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Second readings, 2026-55, a resolution authorizing the executive to advertise for bids for the Department of Public Safety and Emergency Management build-out project located in the city of Talmadge in Council District 6 for an estimated total cost not to exceed $1,500,000 for the executive's Department of Administrative Services Physical Plants and Department of Public Safety emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2026-055.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Walters to suspend and adopt 2026-055. On the suspension, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Before we adjourn today, could I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilwoman Hyam to The purpose of the executive session will be to discuss security protocol. All those in favor? Any opposed? Oh, we need a roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Hyam?
Yes.
Mr. Donofrio? Mr. Cajun? Ms. Dickinson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford? Mr. Wilhite? Ms. Darrow?
Yes.
Mr. Lacotte? Ms. McKinney? Ms. Walters?